ability to make choices every single day to decide what we want to spend our time focusing on, how we want to live, how we want to treat others, how we want to treat ourselves, the activities we want to engage in. You have power today to actually influence your life in a positive way. My name is Jack and welcome to States Unlocked, the place to learn about social psychology, human behaviour, and also learn practical tips on how you can improve your life. If you would like to understand yourself and others better, be sure to hit subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. This video is all about making the most of your life after narcissistic or emotional abuse. As I've said in previous videos, going through emotional abuse can be extremely painful, especially if you're a sensitive soul, you're someone that feels a lot of things. It can be really hard if you deal with people who seem to be completely cold-hearted and remorseless for their behaviour. Believe me, I know, it's horrible. It's a really horrible thing to go through, and it can leave you feeling isolated and as if this has just happened to you and you don't necessarily realize that it's happened to so many people. The thing about this kind of abuse is that it can be extremely isolating and it can make you feel as if you are the only one that's ever experienced it, or even though you logically know other people have gone through it, that you have been dealt a really crap hand and you just basically have to deal with really cold-hearted people. Particularly if you are someone that is sensitive and you are emotionally switched on, it can feel incredibly painful if people are being extremely dismissive. Unfortunately, a lot of the people that we are going to come into contact with are not very in touch with their emotions and they tend to suppress a lot of their emotions. I have found this time and time again when something very objectively upsetting has happened, I've seen some people be able to empathize and actually express emotion, and other people that just their go-to is to shut down emotion, their own emotion and your emotion. It doesn't feel good and it isn't appropriate, quite honestly, but a lot of people don't have other tools and this is how they respond to this kind of thing. The thing that I want to say in this video is that life is short, and a lot of the time when we're healing from this kind of abuse, it can feel as if this abuse has just kept us stuck in a specific place in time. It's traumatized us and it's left us basically not being able to feel like we can move forward. But life is short, and I really am saying this to you because I do not want you to spend all of your life dwelling on these people that have treated you badly or any of the bad things that they have said or done, and allow that to let your life be halted, because the thing is, you will look back and think, why did I do that? Why did I give that person so much power? Life is finite, but unfortunately we have this impression that it isn't, and this is something that affects all of us, and we end up worrying about petty things and we end up getting into conflicts with people that we don't need to be getting in conflicts with, or we just waste our days and we waste our time, and we're all guilty of it, and none of us are superhuman and none of us can do things every day that are going to propel us forward in a massive way. But even if we just work on actually improving our life in incremental stages, the thing is, when we have this kind of abuse in our backgrounds, we can sometimes look out for these kind of abusive patterns in people, but sometimes the reason that can be kind of negative is because our brain has something called the reticular activating system. After this video, I would like you to watch a video I made about the law of attraction, which talks all about the reticular activating system. It is basically a part of our brain which is designed to find things that we're looking for. So if I say to you now, okay, in the next 5 seconds, count everything that you can see that is red, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to tell me everything you saw that was purple. The chances are you're going to say, well, actually I didn't say anything that was purple because I was just looking for red. This works for beliefs as well. So if we are looking for abusive people and this is on our mind and on our radar, we can end up just finding abusive people and not seeing all the good things that are around us. Unfortunately, this doesn't always feel really easy to control because we are practicing this kind of stuff unconsciously. And let's be honest, these mechanisms are there to protect us, and it is good to have knowledge of this kind of stuff because we do need to actually be aware that there are some predatory people out there. There are some people that are going to use us. There are some people that are going to take advantage of our emotions and aren't necessarily the same way. But at the same time, that's just one piece of the puzzle, because there is a hell of a lot of other people who are going to value your emotions, who are going to be there for you through the good times and through the bad times. And when we start to see life as being completely negative and we dwell on all the people that have treated us like crap and think that that's all there is that life has to offer, we really cheat ourselves out of experiencing all of the positive things that life has to offer. This is depression. This is post-traumatic stress disorder. This is any of these illnesses that basically come about as a result of this kind of abuse. If you're experiencing this, please know it's not your fault. It really is not your fault, and you are one of millions and millions and millions of people who have experienced this. A lot of people are dealing with unresolved trauma and are really having a hard time with it, and they might not speak about it, but, you know, we're not necessarily the healthiest of species, in my opinion. But life can be full of crap and it can be full of joy as well, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be one or the other. And actually, a lot of the times when we've experienced this kind of crap, we can think that that is all there is about life, but we then lose our sense of agency and our ability to make choices every single day to decide what we want to spend our time focusing on, how we want to live, how we want to treat others, how we want to treat ourselves, the activities we want to engage in. You have power today to actually influence your life in a positive way. You might not be able to take it from here to here in a day, but even if you start going from here to here to here to here, you can do it. And I actually believe in you because you're a human being and you're watching this video and you have a brain, you have a heart, you have the ability to actually influence your life in a positive way, not just in a negative way, okay? So whoever made you feel powerless, whoever robbed you of your power, whoever disconnected you from that source of power, it is an illusion. It is an illusion. You have the ability to reconnect with that power right now. Don't wait necessarily to completely heal. Okay, yeah, do your healing work, do the stuff you know you need to work on, but don't think that then you're going to arrive at this place where you are then perfect and then valid and then you can be happy, because that time is today. None of us know how many tomorrows we have. None of us know if we have a tomorrow to begin with. All we have is this moment. All we have is today. Please listen to me, because a lot of people think that they have endless time. I've felt this way before in my life. You unconsciously just think, oh yeah, you've got tomorrow, you've got tomorrow, you've got tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen. Someone could get cancer. Someone could get run over. Someone could get any amount of illnesses out there. You could be that someone, okay? I could be that someone. And we need to really take stock of our lives and actually look at the good in it, okay? To actually look at the perspective, because sometimes these experiences can really give us this idea that, you know, oh, life is just all negative, life is all negative, life is all negative. And it will be if that's the reality that we buy into. And don't get me wrong, it can be crap. Let's call a spade here. So much of life can be really crap. It's full of trauma, it's full of loss, it's full of terrible feelings at times. But that's not all it's full of, okay? And I believe that the people that are happiest, they actually train their brain to actually look for the positive things. They train their reticular activating system to look for positive things. So they have beliefs such as, oh, people are generally good, okay? So their brains find the evidence of that. But when we've gone through trauma, we can sometimes be in hypervigilance mode, hyperprotection mode, and we're looking out for the dangers so as to offset the danger. The problem with that is you are going to find what you look to find. You are going to find what you expect to find. Actually, our brains can be primed to look at the negative things, and it is a survival technique. It's actually what's kept us here up to now. Looking at things that could be dangerous and things like that isn't inherently negative, okay? This idea of positive and negative can be really, you know, not great to begin with. What I'm saying is we don't necessarily always have to look at that stuff. We can actually let our brains relax a little bit, and this is a conscious process when we've gone through trauma, because sometimes our brains and bodies do not trust us to be able to look after themselves. We feel like we have to constantly be on guard, constantly in hypervigilance mode, and this is PTSD I'm talking about, and complex PTSD, and these kinds of hypervigilant stress responses, okay, that so many of us experience, and they're horrible. If you are watching this and you're like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, I'm sorry, because it's really horrible. But not everybody necessarily knows what it's like to live in that state, you know, perpetually, and it can be really horrible, but it can be really transformative, because actually you start to get insights that other people don't have. So when you start to heal, you actually will have all of the gifts that you got through that experience, okay, through living all the pain, all of the, you know, gems that you managed to harvest from that experience, okay? But it is all about how you look at things. It is all about how you perceive your life. It is all about the person you think you are and who you fit in with and what the stories you make of your life. Because if you actually believe that your life is crap, it's going to be crap. So you need to actually come up with a better story. And sometimes it can feel hard, but I don't care. You've got to do it. I've got to do it. We've got to do it, because if we do not do it, then what's our lives for? What are our lives actually for? And there's someone who is not waking up today, okay? There's someone who isn't going to wake up today. Or they're going to think they're going to be fine, and then they're going to die. And this can seem really heavy, this can seem really intense, and it's meant to be intense. I'm trying to get through to you, because sometimes we really need someone to just actually wake us up. And it is far better to be woken up by me telling you this now than by having a horrible experience. And if you are having a horrible experience and you've just found out some terrible news, I'm really sorry. The reason I'm making this video is because I don't need to be sleepwalking through life anymore as much as you can help it. Obviously, none of us are going to be Superman or Superwoman every day, all day, every day. But actually being grateful, being aware of the blessings that are in our lives, it can be hard, I know, especially if you deal with depression and you deal with any of this other traumatic shit that you've had to deal with as a result of negative treatment, things like that. But it's not impossible. There are so many people who have overcome depression, who have managed to manage their depression in a way that the depression doesn't overrule their lives, doesn't take over their lives. You could be one of those people, okay? You could be someone that actually manages to flip it around. The brain is capable of changing its belief systems, but sometimes it takes work, sometimes it takes the help of a professional, sometimes it takes the help of good friends and family. If you don't have those, you can create those, okay? It might be hard, you might think of all the reasons you can't do it, but equally, you need to start thinking of all the reasons you can do it, because you can do it. You've achieved things in your life, I'm sure, that you never thought you would achieve. You have actually gone on twists and turns and been surprised by yourself and by life. So what makes you think that's going to change? Nothing's going to change about that. Life is going to be full of surprises all the way along, good and bad. But a lot of the time, if we use our minds in the most positive way we possibly can, it is actually going to work for us rather than against us. I strongly recommend you to watch the video I made about the reticular activating system and the law of attraction, and I will link that below. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Also, I'm offering life coaching sessions, which you can check out on my Patreon, which will be in the description of this video. Remember to make the most of today, because tomorrow isn't granted. Ciao, and I'll see you on the flip side.